The House of Hades is one phenomenal book. That's it, everybody. Pack it in. Rick Riordan has done it once again. I swear to God, if Rick does it again, I will have to put on the cat ears. I just can't wait to share this Discord vent post with you all. So, let's find out why the House of Hades is incredible together. Rick Riordan used good writing. It was super effective. Mars fainted. I think that sums my thoughts up on this book pretty well. So, thank you so much for watching. Okay, but in all seriousness, this is the only book I've ever read that made me scream and laugh audibly at multiple points throughout. That is a big ass achievement. So, we left off with Percy and Annabeth doing a Kratos cosplay and the rest of the group being just a little distraught because of this. Oh well, they'll be fine. But for real, I really both love and hate this choice. I think it was the right choice for Percabeth to be on their own, because they both kind of tend to carry a lot of situations. So putting them in a dangerous environment like Tartarus is pretty perfect to see them hit their limits and learn more about what they do in such a desperate situation. While on the flip side, it gives a lot more space for the other five, plus Nico, to get some good development, which, spoiler, does happen and I couldn't be happier about it. Everybody has some kind of arc this book, which is just sex. No, but seriously, I was so glad to see characters that I was really on the fence about get real arcs and grow as people. And the environments they explore and the people they meet just, oh my god! I am brimming with the big excite, so I think I'm just gonna get into the individual character talk before I have a clinical foot aneurysm. Oh, last thing, it was already really hard to rank the characters last book. This book it was near impossible, so yippee! It was fun though. Okay, hear me out. As I said at the end of the previous chapter, ranking them was even harder than the last book. Like, I'm serious, it must have taken me what, a solid 5 minutes this time? I was on the floor writhing in agony for a good 20 seconds of that. As you can tell, there was a lot at stake here. Jesse, what the hell are you talking about? This is a Percy Jackson video, Jesse. Oh, right. So, why is everyone's favorite brick ranked so low again? Because everyone else was just better in one way or another. But that does not mean he is bad. No, not in the least bit. Like the chapter name suggests, he had a bit of a glow up and became a somewhat interesting character. You know, the thing I've been asking for only 4 books. So basically, they play with the idea of him slowly moving away from his Roman heritage towards the Greek side, which I think was a very interesting angle for him as a character. It also does make sense, considering some comments he made in the previous books, after seeing how the Greeks did it and being like, damn, everyone can be just nice to each other? That's crazy, bro, I want in. But he also just talks and doesn't feel like the character equivalent of a brick anymore. It is a really nice change of pace, and I'm so glad he finally has a character now. My favorite Jason moment this book was probably him being frozen by Keon. No, I think I think it was when he gave up his title as Praetor and gave it to Frank. That moment went unbelievably hard and made me scream in the club for real. Don't worry, I will get to that. Aside from that, there still just isn't a lot to say about him. I'm really happy I could finally say something at least though. Or well, something positive. I know, this seems like somewhat of an inside joke at this point, but I swear it's not. I actually really liked Piper this book, like sheesh! She had a lot more of those girl boss moments I talked about last video, and didn't come across like some creepy, yandere-obsessed girlfriend anymore. I think the most memorable one I'll mention right now is her fight against Keon and the Boreads. That was such a good scene, perhaps even epic. Apart from that, there isn't a whole lot to say about her. I just really liked her this book, and when she talked, Jason wasn't just the only thing she thought about. She kind of recaptured that appreciation I had for her at the end of The Lost Hero, which is wonderful. Okay, but genuinely, what else is there to say? I didn't want to make her chapter this short, but she was just kind of there. She went from a 3 or 4 out of 10 to probably a 6 or 7 to give a quick numerical value. I can already tell the ranking is really gonna piss some people off, but I have my reasons. Mars, oh my god, how could you do this? Percy is perfect and he should always be at the top. Duly noted. And ignored. So you see, the reason Percy is this low isn't because he's bad. The others were just better. And like I said last video, his main development happened in PGO, so the bar for new development is way higher than normal. I really did like him though. Seeing him and Annabeth struggle through Tartarus was absolutely heart-wrenching. From them having to drink from the river Phlegethon, the literal river of fire, to stay alive, to getting assaulted by old ladies in the misty forest. It was all around just really fun, I guess? It sounds a bit odd because they were stuck in hell, but seeing their love for each other give them the power to get through this was absolutely beautiful. While I do still stand by Percy and Rachel having better chemistry than Percabeth in PGO, I am a Percabeth shipper now. They really feel like a couple after this whole ordeal. Let me explain. Writers will sometimes say that two characters feel a certain way, but then proceed to not write them with that mindset in mind at all, and it just makes this disconnect between what the characters say and what their actions actually show. No idea if this made any sense at all, to be honest. Just Rick actually showed their love for each other through their actions this book, which in turn makes their relationship feel actually real. Yes, that. As you can tell, I am wonderful with words. Some people call me the dictionary because I'm a massive dick. I also really like this mini arc with apologizing to Bob or Iapetus for just wiping his mind and then leaving him in the underworld. Like, yeah, that was a pretty asshole move, and if not for my baby Nico actually talking to him, Percy and Annabeth would have both died already. All in all, Percy was great this book. The others were just even greater. Annabeth was great this book! She had some absolutely great moments, to be honest. Like her just being a bad bitch and gaslight, gatekeeper and girl bossing Damas and Aklis. I have no idea how to pronounce that. But seriously, their escapades through hell gave some great moments to show why Annabeth is great and awesome. I don't know if you can tell or not, but the zoomies have consumed me. Nyum! Where was I? Oh, right, book. Yeah, she was absolutely great this book. The way she talked Damason into healing Percy and Aklis, giving them the death mist, was super smart. And also seeing Hyperion and Krios was cool at the Doors of Death. Speaking of which, that entire fight made me so goddamn sad. Like, no Bob, you better be okay. I am actually going to cry if he's just never mentioned again. That made me so sad. And that fight with Tartarus? Jesus. The moment Tartarus first spoke and the realization set in that he's about to materialize genuinely made me scream out loud. That shit was actually terrifying and so cool. And it genuinely felt unwinnable because, well, it was. There's one line of his that really stuck with me. You might as well try to kill the Earth, referring to them defeating Gaia. Which, like, yeah, that brings up a great point. How are they going to defeat her? They can't really kill her, so my guess is they're just gonna bonk her and put her into a coma or something. Oh well, I guess we'll see in the next book, Period Blood of Olympus. The fuck am I going on about? I don't know. But to repeat myself, Annabeth was great, and this book was great, and words, all the words. I love words. Words! Pronouncing the name I gave this chapter gave me a fucking stroke. But yeah, Hazel was actually really good this book. She finally had something to do, which is great because last book she was just kind of there. She didn't really have anything going on apart from some minor stuff, but now she actually had something to do and it was genuinely important to the plot. Giving her the power to control the mist was such a good decision in my opinion. The mist was never really explored all too much, apart from some brief explanations and Talia being able to control it as well in Titan's Curse. So this was a good opportunity to give Hazel something to do this book, and also actually explain the mist. Her meeting with Hecate was super cool as well. And I can also not forget to talk about her final fight with Pasiphae, which was really cool. I should probably look up how to pronounce these names before I say them. Her intentionally making the maze harder so Pacifier wouldn't notice her getting closer was really smart and shows Hazel being a girl boss really well. My only real gripe with the fight was that I feel like she was defeated way too easily. She's supposed to be this super old, highly skilled witch and she just gets folded in like 2 minutes. Maybe I'm being too nitpicky here, but I honestly feel like her fight with Pacifier got kind of overshadowed by Hecate's fight with Clydius. If Heroes of Olympus ever gets an adaptation, that is one of the main fights I want to see adapted properly, like goddamn, Hecate versus Clitoris. She was really fun this book, and her thirsting over Frank was such a mood, like Jesus Christ, Frank can have my babies for real. I have no idea how Rick did it, but he made Leo even more of a lovable gremlin. Just, how do you do that? I'm genuinely curious. Leo was so good this book. He was his usual lovable self, but he also had my favorite arc in the whole series as of now. Him landing on Ogygia and meeting Calypso was just wow. At first when he destroyed her table by landing on it, and her being angry Kirby with a knife, I had no idea she was Calypso. But when the name got dropped, my heart sank for real. I honestly didn't expect her to ever be mentioned again because that happens to so many characters throughout the series. But to say I was pleasantly surprised would be an understatement. Their relationship also just made me visibly It started out with them hating each other, or well, mainly her hating him, because annoyed that she was still stuck on the island. But over time, they genuinely started to care for each other without really saying it, and we got to see some of their genuinely amazing banter. And when the magic raft finally appeared, I was on the verge of tears, man. And that final kiss and promise from Leo, like, Rick, why are you like this? I am just praying that he will come back for her because, oh my god, they are adorable together. And all around this book, he was a great anchor. His sense of humor and chaotic energy has always been a great balance to the more serious energy of the others. Suffice to say, he's an invaluable member of the Seven, and I don't think I would like these books anywhere near as much without him. Am I reusing the chapter name from my Lost Hero video? Maybe. Is it because it's the most fitting name for this chapter imaginable? Yes! I don't know what happened. Frank went from a kind of mid character to one of my favorites, like holy shit. He went from the beta Frank Zhang to the Chad Frank Zhang. He had an amazing glow up and I couldn't be happier. So yeah, in Son of Neptune he was a really fun and lovable doofus. In Mark of Athena he was a bit meh kind of guy. In this book he makes my knees weak. I keep being surprised by Rick's impeccable writing talent over and over again. Not gonna lie, I am pretty sad that I'm so close to the end of the series. But on the other hand, I still have Trials of Apollo, Magnus Chase, and the King Chronicles. So let's talk about his first amazing moment. Killing Altocato Blebs in Venice. Bleb. How do I even describe that scene? It was him going on a rampage to earn a snake from Mars and save his girlfriend who was poisoned. Read these books is all I'll say. The way he was described just made me audibly pog the whole time. And after he was done, when he suddenly grew and became more buff, it was so cool. That was his Chad transformation for real. His second amazing moment was the scene in the House of Hades, fighting off the hordes of monsters. He got promoted to Praetor here, and him screaming all the battle commands to control the skeletons Nico summoned with the scepter was so fucking cool. He totally earned being promoted to Praetor, and I couldn't think of a better fit. Even Reina approved, like, come on. I'm getting lightheaded from the excitement. Talking about these books, I should probably lay down this for a second. Mini chapter time! Nico isn't technically a member of the Seven, hence why I didn't rank him and why he's only getting a mini chapter. He was super fun as usual this book, and we learned a surprising amount about him, like his Italian knowledge, because he's part Italian. Thank God he isn't something like British. Imagine being British, that sounds awful. Him opening up a bit to Jason was great as well, and was another Jason W. Okay, I'm gonna point out the elephant in the room. My boy is gay! It wasn't that big of a reveal for me, because I already knew from even before starting the series due to Solangelo, I think that's how you pronounce it, fan art and memes, which was really unfortunate, but the reveal itself was still really good. It also wasn't just dumb representation, like having two gay guys in the back of a scene or whatever, like no, this was foreshadowed throughout the whole series and it totally makes sense. I just love my gay baby and I'm glad he finally came to terms with that part of himself due to Cupid. Wow. This book was so much fun, to be honest. I think it's my new favorite, but I'm not 100% on that. I had a lot of fun making this video as usual. I cannot begin to express my thanks to everyone who gave me motivation and love throughout the process. I hope this video lived up to everyone's expectations. If so, let me know by leaving a comment down below. If not, also let me know by leaving a comment down below. I'm gonna move away a bit from only making these book reviews. As you probably saw, I uploaded a video about a game called Alternate Watch and why it's my favorite new horror game. And yeah, I kind of want to do more of that. I'm already working on a really big project, which I am super pumped for. It's about a game. I'm not gonna spoil anything besides that. I really hope that people will still want to watch it. Like more for me, I guess. And obviously, I'm not gonna stop making these book reviews. Like I'm obviously gonna make one on Blood of Olympus and probably also Trials of Apollo. I can't really say that yet. That totally depends on my thoughts on that series. Anyway, okay, I'm just rambling now. I'm gonna stop. That was about all. Thank you all so much for watching. I wish you have a great rest of your day and you get all the happy chemicals you need and deserve. Bye bye.